Ramadan. Inshallah, you were all well. And in a moment, I'm going to be joined for the second part of the discussion show. I'm going to be joined by Catherine and hopefully Tam, who are going to be talking about their Syrian campaign in Wolverton. So there will be, hopefully, inshallah, they will be calling over a family into Milton Keynes in Wolverton, and we will talk to them in just a second. And here they are, I think. Hello,
So,
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, we're really good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, lovely to see you. Good to see your face. We've talked lots, but I haven't been able to see you.
You too. How are you both? How's your Ramadan going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Jazakallah, yes, and yeah, really, really well. I can't believe we've got to, was it 28th last night? You know, mashallah, Laylatul Qadr, inshallah. So yeah, it'd be wonderful. We were just talking and we say, Roxana, mashallah. I happened to be listening to one of the shows, and they were congratulating you, of course, about Roxana and your. I know. Sorry to bring it up again. Mashallah. I think it's so nice when you're blessed with a heart that can do community work. It is a gift. We think, these people do gooders going around doing this stuff, and we know it's incumbent upon us as Muslims, but we don't unfortunately have that gift from Allah to do this work. But mashallah, the work you and the team have done, mashallah, has been amazing, really amazing for the community. This year especially, just the quality of the broadcasts, the shows, just the insights into the people in Milton Keynes, alhamdulillah, it's been really a great blessing, especially, given the time, given the lockdowns, given the detachment from our families. It's been really wonderful for the people in Milton Keynes, but people listen from so far as well. So, alhamdulillah. Great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and the quality, as you say, is so good, mashallah. And we've got such a variety. We worked out there are over 50 different shows on Ramadan this year, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was listening to Faisal and Kunza show, and mashallah, those guys, alhamdulillah, they journeyed to Jerusalem and the Hajj journey, everything really inspiring for young Muslims to go, hey, this is how you go on holiday. This is how you experience the world, mashallah, and great production quality, really, alhamdulillah, great production quality.
Theirs is so well planned. Put me to shame, because they're literally on the minute, right, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that, and they just make such a great team, and the synergy they have, and if they're listening to this, fantastic work, you two.
Mashallah. Really, really proud to see, Muslims just with that dedication and speaking about an Islamic life and their experiences. And then something close to my heart as well, the guys, the banter on bikes. When they started, I was like, how are they going to get through this show? Have they got enough content, these boys? They're talking about cycling and, indoor cycling, how they're training through Ramadan. I was like, what? But alhamdulillah, the shows, talking about the Palmer's Green Mosque, interviewing the guys from there and the inspirational activities they're doing down there to get, everybody on bicycles, getting fit, being outdoors, experiencing Allah's creation, just mashallah, really something we can all learn from, alhamdulillah. So
I think Sport England are missing a trick there, because they think, you get this perception, don't you, that Muslims don't exercise for some reason, but they're into everything. When I talk to people, it's like, oh my God, you did that, wow, you did that. We just need to sort of come together a bit more.
Alhamdulillah. I thought the reasons why, so I love cycling, I love mountain biking, but I generally am the only, I'm the token colored guy whenever we go out. But alhamdulillah, right? And I thought what it must be is that because all the Muslims are wearing shalwar kameez, you don't want to get stuck in the chain. So that's why Muslims don't ride some bicycles.
You don't want to get it caught in the wheel spokes. Yeah. Do you know what,
exactly.
Tam? I'm a family there are 5 siblings, right? There's myself, and 4 other brothers and sisters. My dad taught us to swim, we taught to bike, we went roller skating, we went whatever there was, we were, go and do this. So Very, very
Yeah.
lucky.
I think now I say the generation is, we've all kind of acclimatized. Our parents, alhamdulillah, anyone that were immigrants, their kids have grown up now, and now we're seeing perhaps, a lot of their struggles over, and now their children trying to, be involved in what, we are really blessed. Alhamdulillah, okay, maybe missing some of the Islamic facilities, but I think now we're doing it our own way. In the UK, is mashallah, a stable government. We've got a lot of blessings to be here and to be able to create, a new, inshallah, outlook for Islam. I think that's definitely changing, and part of that, alhamdulillah, is your radio, the radio station, these type of community activities, but also onto the subject today, and how we can help those Muslims that are suffering around the world in our way, and not be frustrated at some of the other Islamic countries and their governments perhaps not doing what we think they should be doing. But us here as a community saying, okay, look, we think this is wrong, and we're going to do everything we can to try and make people aware of these situations, and do what we can, do what we can. And today's show, I must say, my wife Catherine's is really her step into trying to be involved and help a refugee family be welcome to Milton Keynes. But Rukhsana, you've done this, so why don't you talk to us about it initially? You've got some experience here.
Yeah, so just to let everybody know, so you basically starting a refugee welcome in Wolverton, right?
So started, I think, probably a couple of years ago now, but unfortunately lockdown delayed things a little bit, and the Home Office paused the community refugee sponsorship process last year. So it just started again this year. So now we're continuing in earnest to bring a Syrian refugee family to Milton Keynes, inshallah, by the end of September.
Inshallah. So just a bit of background, what we're talking about is, so Refugees Welcome was put together in Milton Keynes about 5 years ago as part of the government initiative to bring in refugees into the UK to settle them after the incident on the beach, where, as you probably all know the image, the young boy was picked up who had sadly drowned, and one of the Turkish border forces had picked him up. And literally after that, it was sort of a call to try and help some of these Syrian refugees. So that campaign was put together, and alhamdulillah, in Milton Keynes, we have well over 15 families that are here and settled now. And then that kind of dwindled down. So you now, Catherine, are doing an amazing job by trying to pick that up, and you're sponsoring a family to settle as part of Refugees Welcome Wolverton. That's right, isn't it?
That's right, yes. So yeah, we've got a diverse community group in Wolverton who, as I say, came together a couple of years ago, and from all different backgrounds and communities as well, which is wonderful. I think you experienced the same with your community group as well. There are lots of different communities from lots of different faith backgrounds, can feel so strongly about a cause and come together to work to bring a family to Milton Keynes. And I think Milton Keynes is such a great place to bring a family to, because it's so diverse and welcoming. Well, that's certainly been our experience. So yeah, we've been very fortunate that we've got a really dedicated group, and we're working hard now over the next few months. So we've had direct contact with the Home Office, and we've put in the first stage application. So inshallah, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we will learn a little bit more about the family that we will be welcoming, and then we can work to bring them into Milton Keynes in September.
Okay, so the stage you're at then, when we were having our discussion, so they've got all the paperwork's done, and you've also sourced a house, is that right?
Yeah, so we've been very blessed. There is a small housing association who also feel very strongly about supporting refugees, and they've offered us a wonderful 4-bed family home. So that's obviously one of the big challenges, which I think you guys experienced as well, obviously trying to find a house. And they've given us that house for 2 years, which is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that house, the next stage will be for us to focus on the furniture for that property. So, you know, that's one of the things that we're asking for help and support on, is if there's any, you know, quality furniture that people can support and help with, then we're taking all furniture donations so that we can help furnish that house.
That's great. I'm just trying to find your link, and I cannot find the link to your page, because I mean, there's there's two things here. Firstly, is furnishing the house, providing it with the right sort of equipment for a family to come in and literally just move in, be able to sit somewhere, be able to sleep, be able to go into the kitchen, and you know, have facilities for cooking, that sort of thing. And then there's also money that's needed to support them, and you know, how do they learn how to shop, and where do they go to do their paperwork, and you know, do they want driving lessons to be able to drive, that sort of thing. So there's a whole administration side of it. Sorry,
that's going to be one of the very big challenges that we have and that we've got to work through. And I know, Roxana, you've given us some great advice already on that. But yes, I think one of the key things that we're going to be focusing on now is you know, a group of trusted people that can really help that family settle. So, you know, people that perhaps can help with interpretation and also with befriending the family, because we can't imagine the trials and the traumas that they have been through. And I think it's really important that, you know, they have some close-knit people around them that can help and support them over the first couple of years and introduce them to the community. And that's a key part of the application process as well. We need to demonstrate that we've got that close group of trusted people that will help the family. And also as well, the funds need to support the family for the first 2 years. So it's obviously important that we work with them to become, you know, financially independent and secure. But we also need to ensure that we've got the funds there that will support them for at least 2 years when they first settle.
Yeah, so they literally have everything for about 18 months, and then officially they're on their own. So it's having that sort of support mechanism. So if anybody's listening to this, what I'll do is I'll find the links later on and post it onto the Facebook page. But initially, if you're listening to this and you think, right, okay, I have furniture to donate, I can donate my time, I'm an Arabic speaker, you know, perhaps you're Syrian and you know the dialect and you know the culture, and you might want to help there. Also, having something like a buddy family is quite important as well for the support on the support side of it. Then please do email us at info@ramadanfm.com, and I myself will pick up those messages. And what we also want to do is, if anybody is interested in getting involved, Catherine, can I say this, to contact us, and we can pass them your details?
Yes, also, you can contact us. There's a Refugees Welcome Wolverton Facebook page, so you can contact us through there. We do also have a Just Giving page. So if you don't mind me just giving out the Just Giving page, but it's justgiving.com, and then it's /crowdfunding/RWW-appeal. I know that's quite long, so please, you know, as Roxana said, please contact Ramadan FM or just go through to our Facebook page. But any help and support would be really greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just actually going to pop that link into the live chat so people can see it. There it is. Right. Okay, so that's gone on to Facebook and YouTube. That's your Facebook page and sponsorship, and you've got a volunteers needed page there as well, I see.
Yeah.
And if I get these support us, and I think you've got a donation page on here, I'll just pop that on there as well. So fantastic. Yeah, so people really, really do need to get on board. What are the timescales you're working towards?
So we've just completed the first stage application, which enables the Home Office to actually allocate a family they think would be suitable for the house and the area. So we'll learn a little bit more about that family in the next 3 or 4 weeks, which then really helps us give them all the support that they will need. We'll know exactly, you know, how many children, how many adults, and their level of English, etc. So that then we can really hone exactly what their requirements would be. And then we need to fill in the second stage application in the next 12 weeks. And then, inshallah, we will receive the family early October.
Inshallah.
I'll tell you what, it's pretty, be prepared because it's pretty emotional. The first family I met, I kind of cried, but not in front of them. But it was quite, it felt, 'cause literally they were picked up from the airport, and they were fed, you know, and I followed that journey from the airport to home. And literally the next day I kind of went to see them, and just the stunned look on their faces. And I think the idea is that they try to give you a big family, so you could be looking at several children across different age groups, and you know, so they might have additional needs as well, so be prepared for that. But it's so wonderful just to, and I actually, one of the things that I'm terrible because I haven't kept quite in touch with all of them, and I should have done. So
you're busy. You're a busy lady, Roxana. You know, don't give such a hard time. Inshallah, they're being looked after by the community. You know, when Catherine got involved in this, I was like, yes, the imagery. I think with everybody in the UK from our media, you know, we saw the young boy on the beach. You know, that I think everybody's got that fused into their consciousness. That is just so tragic. That shouldn't happen. And then, but also just the boats capsizing. You know, families on these boats had been sold this ticket to safety, which a lot of the times was just false, and these boats capsizing, and just families just, you know, in the sea. Some of them can swim, some of them can't. You know, I just don't think in the UK we're so blessed that we can't imagine that horror of being, you know, 1 minute being a middle class. You know, these are educated people in Syria. You know, they have middle class lifestyles. And now, you know, the situation is where, you know, they're being bombed, their homes are being bombed, you know, they've got COVID now. This is 11 million Muslims, 11 million people across different religions are being, you know, completely displaced in amongst the country. I think it's almost 6 million people, you know, that used to, let's imagine this, you know, we're in Milton Keynes, we've got 250,000 people in Milton Keynes. You know, this is 11 million people we're talking about, 5.6 million refugees. You know, they're not living in their country, they're living in camps. Some of them are living out in the open. You know, it's cold now. You've got COVID as well. You know, there aren't the vaccines that they require. You know, they're cold and they're hungry. You know, it's Ramadan, and you know, these families and children are suffering. And I think it's 10 years. You know, it's 10 years. So some children have been born into this. It's a horrific situation. I was actually, and it's probably a good thing for all Muslims to do at some point. I went on to, you know, find some images for a flyer, and, you know, it made me cry. And I rarely cry. Unfortunately, I'm not one that can, you know, I can cry easily. But I went to Pinterest to get some images of children refugees in Syria, and it's just devastating. It is absolutely devastating to see what, you know, just children, toddlers, what they're going through. You know, it's horrific. And not only that, it's also what happens in refugee camps. You know, you think you've got to a refugee camp, you think you survive. It's the horror of what goes on in those camps. You know, it is gun law. You know, it is human trafficking. It is just malnutrition. It is just, you know, despair for these families. It's absolute despair, and we can't even imagine that. We really, it's unimaginable for us in our lives. But to bring a family, to have a hope of bringing a family, you know, saving a life, saving a family's life from that, is the least we can do. It is so little what we can do, but if we can do this, alhamdulillah, we've brought some families here. We've been the track record. We can do this, and these families don't want our charity, do they, Roxana? They actually, they're business people. They want to restart their lives and be.
I'll tell you a story. I worked with someone who was Syrian. He came over. And he was telling me about an incident where he was shot at by the Syrian army. And he was telling me he had 500,000 in his pocket from their business. They used to run a pharmaceutical business. All he wanted to do was get that money to his brother. And he's literally running, dodging, the soldiers. And he said the same. It's one of the most educated Islamic countries in the world. They had a massive library, their museums and all destroyed. It's just literally in rubble. And those people that have gone back, their biggest challenge now is food, shelter, like you say, medicines, all of that sort of thing. And whilst, they're not being bombed on a daily basis, they're starving, they're dying from hunger.
Yeah, the lack of water, just services. And you're right, it was a cradle of civilization, absolute cradle of civilization. And
I know so many Muslim brothers and sisters have been to Damascus to study. So I know, it's very close to the hearts of lots of people in the community. So, inshallah, if you can, anyone can please help and support, every bit of support will be very greatly appreciated. Nothing's too small.
No, absolutely. And if people have things like, I don't know, cooking utensils to donate, new good condition ones to donate, even the smallest thing can really, really help. And also toys, that's going to be a big one as well. Getting things in place for children, making them feel at home, and I went round to one of the families and we'd bought them some noodles and there was about 3 of them sharing this one pot of noodles. I'm like, no, open the others. It's fine, we'll get you some more. Because obviously they're used to it, and I walked in and I was like, guys, what are you doing? And they're like, hi. But they're so friendly, they're so lovely, and they're so beautiful. The children are so beautiful.
I know one thing you mentioned as well is you kindly had a local artist that contributed with paintings and stuff. And, even just things like that means so much because it's personal and it makes things feel homely, makes people feel more safe. So anything, even if people are knitting and, would like to knit something, all of that would be just greatly appreciated.
Yeah, inshallah. And I will definitely get all the networks together for you. And have you got a meeting coming up?
We do have a meeting, yes, on Thursday the 20th. Okay.
So if people are interested in getting involved, then if you email us, then we can hook you up and maybe attend that meeting and see, if there's something you can help with.
Wonderful. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. That'd be great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, we have hardship here of a month of Ramadan, I was feeling very cold, so I was wearing a couple of coats and a hoodie. What these guys are going through, these families are going through, is on another level. And, if we can donate, or if we can, we can give some furniture, household goods, anything of the sort, please do open your hearts. And we've got such a generous community here in Milton Keynes, alhamdulillah, and the Muslim community as a whole, alhamdulillah, we are so
alhamdulillah, we're very lucky. We're very blessed.
We're very blessed, alhamdulillah. So please help.
Well, I've got a new kettle, so you can tick that off your list. So if you get new electrical items, you don't have to pat test them. Things like microwaves, so iron maybe, so you don't have to pat test those.
Okay.
Right.
So only second-hand electrical goods.
Yeah, they need to be pat tested. I think we'll have to check. We'll have to sort of check the new rules and regulations on those sorts of things.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your help and support. And again, thank you so much for Ramadan FM this year as well. Yeah. It's been great support during times when we're probably a little bit isolated. So thank you.
What's your favourite show?
I love the Faisal and Kunza show, but I should say Banter on Bikes because those guys are really cool. But I said the two shows, the 21st century stuff for the youth. I think some of the topics on there have just been so required. Though we're here and you can find information. I think as a community, the youth are sometimes sidelined. And I think that show, alhamdulillah,
and the confidence and the knowledge. They come across, I'm like, wow. They're probably 25 years younger than me and so educated.
I got to say, I do miss Muhammad Suleiman and Mohsin's
breakfast show, morning show.
Me too. Me too. I think because they've now moved on, got married, got children. It's not as realistic to expect them to do it. But who knows? Maybe they'll get in a position where they do it again.
It's nice to hear them on the show. Muhammad Suleiman involved with the children. Really nice to hear the cute voices, tell the stories. Alhamdulillah. And Mohsin, it's always nice to hear his talks and him sharing his knowledge. Alhamdulillah. So. Yeah,
amazing person. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on the show. And thank you to not at all. Thank you so much, and to all the listeners. This is the final discussion show, so I'm going to say thank you, and inshallah, not goodbye forever. Inshallah, we come back again next year. May you have a blessed rest of Ramadan and a blessed Eid. And if you are listening and want to get involved as a volunteer or help in any other way in the future, inshallah, then email me at info@ramadanfm.com, and may all of your du'as and fasts be accepted. And that's it from me. Thank you so much, Tam and Catherine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Everybody. See you. Salam.